Yes, good evening everyone. Sorry, apologies I'm sending this video late. So I would be walking us through descriptive analytics like from A to Z. So you doing this descriptive analytics, we'll have talked about almost every syntax in StreamLit. So we don't have to do separate class for StreamLit and start story and then the video we start learning how to use them. No, we just go straight to the point. So firstly, the descriptive analytics, we know we are having some set of objectives in our project file. So that's what we'll be working with. This is descriptive analysis. That means we're using an HR data set. Before we can start opening this StreamLit application, we must first have cleaned our data via Jupyter Notebook. You understand? We must have cleaned the data via Jupyter Notebook, create different columns we want to create, make some changes, and show some reasons. We understand what I meant. Like start create some columns, then start working on it, then we look forward to achieve these particular objectives. So the objective is the most important thing for us in everything we want to, because we want to achieve this objective in solving the problem of descriptive analysis. Now it's not as if we are only doing descriptive analysis, we're using descriptive analysis to solve a problem. Like we're using descriptive analysis is all about what is happening. So we want to tell what is happening in a particular company using their data, and data we're using here is an HR data. So for Streamlit, the first thing we do, we open our environment. To open our environment, it is very recommended we start from Anaconda. Then we launch it we launch the VS Code from our Anaconda. So from our Anaconda, automatically a lot of packages have been installed. If you want to check packages that have been installed, they are here. So if you want to install them manually, like you want to install plots, I think it's is plot. Let me see, plot AY. You understand? It only shows installed apps. So okay, sorry, here plot ly search packages plot ly. So we see that plot ly have been installed here. You understand? So a little bit has not been installed. All we just have to do is just to come here. Instead of this one is categorizing app that have been installed. You can click on all. You understand? And search for plot ly. Install it. Click on it, install it. Or want to install Streamlit. You see it, you click on it, we install it. Or we want to install pandas. Instead of writing facing that terminal environment, you understand? Pandas, we search for it. This is pandas, click on it and install it. Instead of opening this type of environment, this is what I mean. Instead of opening this type of environment, this type, you understand? This is the alternative that is very, very easy. Just open your Anaconda, click on environment, then you start importing. It's not this place, so it's here. You start importing. You start installing. You understand? After installing it, and we've launched our VS Code from this place, it's not as if we open it from our system like this. So we click on this launch to open it. Then me and you will be having the same environment, right? Now, so the first thing we are expected to do is to save name of our file, the file we want to be using, right? Let's right. So we don't even need to create it this way because I know we're not familiar with this method. Let me just we're familiar with. Click on this particular folder, then click on this plus sign. That's desapp.apy. This is what we're familiar with. Good. Now I click on it again, that's why it closes. So now we want to start installing. We've cleaned our data via Jupyter environment. Yeah. So before you watch this video, you must have watched the method at which I clean the data via Jupyter environment. Or the data I eventually giving you, you clean it yourself using your own method, showing every step and approaches you use in doing it. Then you proceed after saving the data to CSV, you then proceed to this particular interface I am. So you have to watch the first video before watching this particular video, before you understand descriptive. That one is a preliminary video for everything we've talked about on descriptive diagnostic and every other thing. So from there, you could just pick your own video, descriptive, watch it, and that's all. So from here now, since I open it from that particular environment, all I have to do is to confirm if I am still on Anaconda. How do I confirm it? I will come down, click on this base. You understand? See it. It's saying the base is saying what? 3.39. You are seeing program data something Anaconda. It's meaning what? You are working on that Anaconda environment. You see this Anaconda that is showing. It's telling you are working on that Anaconda, meaning all applications that have been installed on Anaconda package will be working on your environment. You don't have to be having problem with it. You understand? You don't have to be installing over and over. You don't have to create a virtual environment. You're just working based on the install packages already. So you won't have issue of it did not run, it did not install. So what we do now is we import modules we want to use. We want to use StreamLit. StreamLit is the first we want to use because it's what we'll be using to run the app. That's number one. As st, we import pandas as pd, import plot.ly as px dot express. They are different. Then import, what else again you want to import? I don't think we need anything since plot.ly has a lot of other label and the likes already. So now here is what how I want our data should be showing. In our data, I want to have different metrics, and I want the metrics to be showing like this first. Like the metrics to be showing number of employee we have, number of this, number of that, number of this, number of that. Then underneath, you understand, under our table, I want to be having something like a line that would break everything differently. You understand? And under this line, I'll be having different objective columns. Like this will stand for objective 1, objective 2. So that when you click on this objective 3, objective 4, this not it will be naturally. It will be more final than this. The reason I'm using this an illustrative like structure. Sure we get. So I'm clicking on them. It will take us to different interface within the same environment. Right? That's what I want to achieve. That's what I want to achieve. So when this can be for the first objective, so for the second objective, third objective, fourth objective. When you click on it, what you'll be seeing is what is charts you'll be seeing, and that chart you'll be talking about that particular section. When you click on this, it's a chart you'll be seeing that will solve objective 2. When you click on this, it's a chart you will see it solve objective what? Objective 3. That is the goal. That is the goal. The reason why we're using StreamLit again is that, and another reason is that, so that we can just easily send the link to somebody and the person will enjoy the interactivity, will enjoy the way it's relating to the data, the way like that's the goal of this first section. Now on clicking on them, maybe the person click on the first one, right? So if the person click on the first one, the person is expected to see different columns, like column, maybe let's say I have 4 columns here, 1 2 3 4, right? So I have 4 different columns. I have 4 different columns. It will be right. So we have different columns available. This one we have different chart, this one we have different chart, this one we have different chart. That's the goal of what we are creating, right? And when you click on this again, you have different things similarly, but different charts will be inside them, and it will be telling us different solution. That is the goal. So now we've explained the structure we are looking at. The next thing we are doing is what is programming them out, right? Is programming them out. So what do you mean by programming them out? We firstly define the data preparation section. First thing is data preparation, right? Second thing I want to do is I want to have the column summarization section. Column summarization section, right? That's then my objectives. How many objectives do I have? We understand. That's what we want to be tackling. Now, according to the structure we want, if you look at it very well, these ones are just column metrics. This is a table, a tab, Abi. While inside them again, I have column again individually. So this is what I will do. Inside this particular preparation, what I want to bring in is I want to load my data. Load data. That's the first thing. I want to load my data. That's the number one thing I want to really achieve here. Second thing, I want to be able to have basically load data and do every other preparation that is left. In this particular column summarization section, or under normal circumstances, even if you're not doing the descriptive analysis, you have to write column summarization so that people will be able to tell at least what is happening at glance, at least achieve one important thing they could say. Okay, this is my key takeaway, this is my key takeaway from the data. But because we are doing the descriptive analysis, it might be part of the objective we are having naturally. And if it's part of the objective, automatically it should have been solved. We'll not repeat it again in objective again, right? So to confirm that, we go to our project problem, project objective. This is the one we are using for descriptive analysis. We have summarization of workforce cost. We see that it's there already. So automatically it has been taken care of in the column. The column will just take notice just from this 1, 2, 3, 4. So to make it easier, all you just have to do is to copy it out, right? Copy it out. On copying it out, we have it here. Column summarization is here, right? Then these ones are for your other objectives, right? Right now, so this objective one, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? One after the other. So now we'll be able to group our data into sections. In this particular place, we'll put them inside table, right? Share them with inside table. So another thing we have to take in constant. In this one, we said we need column summarization. That means we're using column metrics. Column metrics. Like breaking it down this way, it is easier now. We've structured everything from A to Z. We finish everything. All we just have to do is just to write our code. That's the end. It is not hard at all. It is not hard. Now, since we're breaking it down, first thing we do, load our data in. Once we load our data in, we use a function to load it in. To avoid repetition, we use this cache data. Right, that's the first thing. Then we load data in df load data. Right. So return pd.read underscore csv. Then the file name. The file name will come to this place. Look for the file name we are working on. We're working on clean analytics data. Obviously, let me copy the relative part because I'm in the same environment. It goes to the same directory. That's why. If it's not in the same directory, you have to write the complete C kiniko. Exactly. That may be the only error that can come from this angle. Then we record inside data. Data is equals to load data. That is, you are calling whatever data that is loaded here. I want you to be inside this place. So I noticed there's an error here. To avoid the error of Unicode encoding issue, just put R here, right? So to take care of that particular Unicode issue. Now I want to start with column metrics. So I need not 4 columns. I just want to consider some things. And things I want to consider overall summarization of different columns, right? Overall summarization of different columns. And things I'm looking forward to in those columns, they are not complex, right? They are not complex. So what I want to do is I want to check for the total number of employees we have in the firm. I want to check for the average hour, churn rate, a lot of things. You understand? So I will define my columns. Column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. Okay, let me call it M column 1. That is metrics column 1, metrics column 2, metrics column 3, metrics column 4. That's why I put the S. It's not because I put M. This column can be any name. It can be any name. The reason I use M column 1 is that because I will still create some other columns. Somewhere else. And I want you to have meaning because code that we're writing must actually be easy to debug. When I write M column 1 now, people understand that I'm trying to create a column for matrices easily. Then I have my columns of 4. That is the first column. I want to make it 4 4 on a line because of the structure I've done. This is structure I've drew. Right, this is structure I drew. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I want it to up and down. So this is M column 1, M column 2, M column 3, M column 4. I want to do another matrix again that it will be this in this structure. I will not write M column because I've used it before. So I'll use different, maybe MS, that is, this is M first. MS column 1, MS column 2, MS column 3, MS column 4 is the one that will represent that column. Abi? Now, so the second one will be what? It will be MS column 1, MS column 1, MS column 2, MS column 3, MS column 4. Right? Is equals to ST dot column of 4. Right? Now, I have everything, the whole column created. All I have to do is just what? Is to be putting the values inside them. That is performing column summarization. But this summarize employee workforce characteristics now, I have to write the equations out. You know, it's as if you are doing normal mathematics. I have to know the number of employee that is this before I put it beside themselves, right? So total number of employee now, total employee is equal to len of what? Len of calculating total number of employee. If you check the data we are using, this is data we are using here. This is straightforward, right? Now I have these columns available readily, right? This is will become more easier now. Become more easier now. Right, so I want to break it into two so that we could get what I'm saying easily. Yeah, great. So if you see it now, you realize I have different columns. Now I just need a single column that is present. All I need, I'm not performing addition or subtraction or multiplication, I'm just counting. So you can count any column. It's not necessarily it's index column. You can count any column. So for me, I just want to count the first column, that is data. Where did I get data? This is data I'm calling about. Inside the data, that's why I have these different columns. So I'm then saying, okay, copy. The reason I'm copying and paste is because I don't want to make mistake. So this one alone will calculate the number of employee I have. Now, if I want to show in that particular column box, what I have to do is just what? I just say M column 1 dot matrix. This matrix is like a function that takes in some parameters. The first parameter to take in is what? Is the label. If you want to know, you just over your mouse on the metric symbol, on the metric language. You see the right word, label, value. It takes some other, a lot of other things. Just the way we have in Jupyter environment, we'll be clicking on shift tab to show some things. Here we don't have to do this over ourselves. So on metrics, the first thing is label. What's the label? That's total employee. Total employee. Then comma. Now, what do you want to put? What do you want to put there? We want to put our total number. This value, paste it there. On pasting this value, if you run the line of code, like running the terminal, this answer me. So StreamLit run. What's the name of the app? Oh, it's still loading. StreamLit run des. What's the name I'm writing is this name? Oh, desapp.py. That's the name I wrote. I'm not doing any magic. It's the name I use in saving the file. So it has hosted online live. So I did similar thing before now. This is it. This one I did before now. But I'm having issue with it because a lot happens. So I had to like restart my system. That's the major challenge I have here. So but let's continue with this. There's no big vibe. It's not hard, it's not a big deal. So it's still loading. So we see we have total employee. It will the number out. Right? Now the next thing we want to do, this particular area, I don't need this running terminal again. I can just delete itself. Or let me just drag it down to hide it. Now, you've seen the first one, you've seen the outcome of the first one. Second one, I want to calculate the total number of is it total number? Yes, I want to calculate the satisfaction rates. You understand? On average of employee satisfaction rate. Satisfaction rate. I mean the rate at which people are satisfied. So it's just data on average. which is data satisfaction. We'll come here, we'll not set ourselves, copy the line of code, abi, paste, then dots main. We get it. Come here, copy. You save inside this particular variable now. M column 2. It's not hard. Metrics, then employee satisfaction on average. Comma. The first thing should be label, second thing should be the value that will be there. And what is holding the value? This is what is holding the value. So what is holding this one value? I've done for the second one. Right? Now, the third one, I want to check for their work hour. The hour at which they work. So I can't stress myself on what is necessary here. So this one, but I want to be on weekly basis so that I can tell what is happening. So that's divided by 4 because this is by month, right? Divided by 4. So I copy this. That's average weekly hour. That's weekly hour. It's not wiki. It's not government wiki. Apologies. So next one, I want to put them column 3, right? Dot metrics. Then weekly work hour on average. Weekly average weekly work hour. The column labeling should not be something too long. So even if it's too long, we just have to go and we'll make sure we edit it and make it more proper because it must not be something that is too much. Then column 4, you're trying to like make sure there's simplicity in what you are doing. People does not have to be reading grammars when they see it. They don't have to be, you're not trying to impress anybody. You're trying to create clarity. That's the goal of solving problem. Then another one I want to look is average tenure. That is the average year people spend in that particular organization before they leave. You understand? AVG tenure. Right? So data, I would say the name of the column. Here they use in that particular organization. Okay, this is the time spent in the company. Just copy it. Please don't make mistake. Paste same name. Then this will just be on average. That's mean, right? So basically that's it for the first column. So you copy and just make it 10. No, don't, not too much grammar. The goal is not grammar. Paste. Now, if you save this particular line of code, run the code, you see we have gotten our result on our environment. But it doesn't still make sense. It's too, I don't need dot lines. So I will format it to make it make sense, right? So if I want to format to make it make sense, all I just have to do is to format this particular one using f string. We all remember f string in printing. It still works here. So these are all those things interwove with each other. Write the f string here, right? I don't necessarily need it for the first one, but let me just write it. I've done it already. I can, so f y, right? Satisfaction rate should be in percentage. Abi? No. It's mean I use, so it should not be in percentage. It's mean it should not be in percent. That's mean on average. Then work hour. Work hour cut f, then f, right? So if I save this one now and run it, it has not, what I want has not been affected. So what I want this particular one to be in 2 decimal place, this one in 2 decimal place, this one's as well in 2 decimal place. So those are the things that will make it more, it's not, I'm not talking about fancy here. You see the way it looks more like, yeah, we can pass a story from what we have here. So from what I have on this my environment, I realize it is somehow narrow, which is by default for the StreamLit page environment. So I will set the configuration. Configuration of the page will be st.page, set page configuration, then add my page title. If you look at it, it's having StreamLit here. It's not having the title I want. So I can just give it my page title, which is um descriptive analytics or anything that makes sense to you. But please, before you give it a particular name, make sure okay, HR descriptive analysis. Make sure it's logical, because you are trying to pass a message with everything you have. So at every point you have opportunity, try to make meanings to your audience. Like, yeah, to your audience, because obviously you'll be presenting to someone. So the two layout I have here is basically narrow and wide. Sorry, center, wide, and none. So this narrow is by default the center. That's why you see it italic. That's the default is having a center. Now, if I change it to wide, meaning it should what? It should enjoy itself on the interface. Let me use that English. So you see what will happen now. Say we see it. It's enjoy itself. It's not squeezed together. Everybody stand where? They stand gallant. Sorry for using that English. So I'm done with the first one, which is this category of column, right? So for the second column category now, we have one at the top, one below, which is the structure we are working on. This is the one at the top. All these top ones are these ones. So we want to work on the second column, right? So what we'll do is we'll come here and say and divide things we want to. What are the things we want to add here? Number of projects, abi? Number of projects. So number of projects is number project number. Like I say, projects number, right? So it is data. So it is number of projects, number of projects, abi, dot on average, the number of projects that people worked on in that particular environment on average is this particular value. That's one. Another thing we want to look at is the work accident. We want to check if there's always work accident in the company. So accident, no need of grammar. Accident, data, work, work accident. What's the English? Let's look for here. I'm trying to look at the percentage. I think people have accident in that particular organization, like the percent. That's what concerns me here. Oh shit. Okay. So next one, I want to look into the average work hour. Okay, I've done average work hour. I've done time spent in the company. The attrition rates. Okay, it's not. I want to do attrition rate last. Okay, I want to check the percentage of satisfaction. Yes, and overall satisfaction rate. Satisfaction rates. So the data satisfaction satisfaction dot mean. That's on average. The satisfaction level on average. Satisfaction level of all employees on average. Yeah, within the firm. So and the last one is the attrition rate. That is the rate at which people churn. Rates. There's data. I'm looking forward to attrition. What's the column? Attrition status. Let me just copy, paste. Okay. Dot sum. Yes, and divided by total number of employee. That is, I'm counting the number of people that have left against the number of people that are available. You should know this mass now. Then multiply by 100. Multiply by 100. So I think I did make a mistake here. Multiply by 100. Okay, so be able to solve for that particular section. All we just have to do is just to create their metrics value. ms column 1 dot metrics abi dot metrics. What I will have first is what? It's not total employee I will have first to. What I will have first is okay, the number of projects. Number of projects. That's the label. Then the tag is project number. project number. So because okay, I know project number is always fixed. What am I talking about? I'm talking about mean. So talking about mean, it's better just add my f string straight up without wasting my time. So f string dot then 2 decimal place. So then next one I'm creating ms column 2 dot metrics, right? Next one is not number of employee. I'm looking at accident rate. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. No problem, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, okay. Thank you very much, sir. So we're looking at accident rates, and now we've created a column for accident rates. We're putting the metrics. Accident rate is accident. We'll copy. We'll paste. Next one, ms column 3, right? So that's metrics. We're looking at satisfaction level. That's easy rates. Overall satisfaction. Overall satisfaction. Well, at overall, what's the satisfaction level? Overall satisfaction level. I would like to have a lot grammar. Well, but please, it must be as short as possible and it must make sense. That's the goal. Then ms column 4. Right, so we have metrics. Metrics. The last one is then what is attrition rate. That is the rate at which people churn. So you can use churn rate instead of attrition rate. Churn rate. So from here we have a column. We have our value, which is this. Okay, just trying to rush things as much as possible. Okay, so copy, we paste, saving those data. Let's see what the result looks like. Now penny the data. Okay, we have a particular error in one particular line. Data work accident. Work accident does not exist. So key error, work accident. What's the problem? It's not telling us the problem name. Let's check the syntax for work accident. Work accident. Use work accident. Do you have work accident in the? Do you have work accident? Okay, let's check the type of column we have in work accident. That's one thing that will help us in solving this problem. So I've commented it out. Let's run it again if it wouldn't give us any error. Okay, so so there's an error somewhere in the satisfaction. So satisfaction is not ordinary satisfaction. It should be satisfaction level is what we're talking about here, because the data are different. Obviously satisfaction is in form of high low high low, that's why it's giving high low high low. So we change it to satisfaction level. Okay, we've done satisfaction, abi. Okay, this column we've done for satisfaction already. That's why we're having issue. And this work accident, I can't tell what's really okay. Let me check time spent in the company. We've done time spent. We've done satisfaction. We've done. What else have we not done? So to solve this problem, what I did was I think it's better we write the plan we want to create. You understand? So that we won't be just be going back and forth and back, and be sure that we've done what we wanted to do. So these are the list of metrics I wanted to show. I've done number 1 is there. I've done satisfaction rate is there, right? Have I done work accident? In this particular area, I've not done work accident. Okay, the work accident is one that is having issue. Now, average work hour is there. time spent in the company, that's tenure, is there. So what I want to do is number of projects. I have done that, is correct. Next I want is promotion, not satisfaction level, promotion. You understand? The rate at which people are promoted, promotion rate. You understand? If there's promotion in the firm or if there's no promotion, you understand? So for promotion, that's last 5 years promotion. Also we explore to be able to ascertain that. We copy, we paste. So for the best, this one I think is best to use percentage, because if they are promoted is 1, if they are not promoted is 0. So if they sum it, find the count, you understand, find the percentage, automatically we'll be having what? We'll be having number of employees in the firm. Like the number of employees, the percentage at which people were promoted, just simple mathematics, not something hard. So here I remove this one. The churn rate, which are attrition status, is there. See, there is the churn rate. Yes. Now this work accident, what could be the problem with the work accident? Let's check the column. Let's see what's happening in that particular column of data. I think I have it somewhere here when I worked on data itself individually. So I want to check how the column looks like. I want to check the type of the data we have in the column. Is it this data? No, it's not this one. So it's not this one. Yeah, work accident. Okay, I've seen the work accident. Let me see the okay, I use df dot work accident. You understand? Dot unique. You want to check the variables are inside. The two values, the values are okay. Half is zeros and 1. So okay, let me group by it. Let me see let me see what I could do. Df dot group by, right? I want to group by um I want to group by this accident dot value dot count, value count. So there's a problem with the spelling. I think it's count. I think it's count. Uh, my brain is not even put on what I want to do. Okay, let me see what I want to check. Can you check the numerical value, the values? So I'm sure of what is inside it. No stress. I'm on distraction. Now, so work. I'm looking for work accident. Work accident. This is it. So for that work accident, the best thing to do is still the syntax. Let's come here. Accident save. Then so I think I've literally worked on everything. Let's see if the problem will persist. So if the problem persists, I know what to do. So the first one, number of projects, is done. Number 2, second one is accident rate. Number is done. Number 3 is promotion rate. Promotion. And the value I'm using for it is promotion rate. Then churn rates, same as attrition rate. So let's run it. Let's see what we're having. We shouldn't have this high low problem. We've solved that already. Okay, so there's different problem entirely. Attrition status. Attrition status is in STR, unsupported something. So let's check the data column. Let's see what is happening there. df.add attrition rate. Okay, we don't have a column even called attrition. Okay, we can use left. Left is having number. Okay, status is one that is having left or no left. So we use status number. That's what we use to get in that particular value. So here is the key is just understanding the data. If you understand what data is saying, you will hardly have problem. Shey you understand? This left now is where I'm having that particular column. So if I go to my environment to show what I have, I won't be having the same problem again. You see it, everything has been sorted just because I understand the data. So here now I want few things to be done. Yes, I want few things to be done. In the first section, do I have any percentage? I don't have any percentage. But in the second section, I do, right? So here the project is in two decimal place. I don't want two decimal place. I want exact value, 0, right? So on average, I'll see what they work on average. Then the second one, accidents. Yes, but I want this accident to be honest, is that exact value? Accident is that value? Okay, it's percentage. So accident F. So in percentage, right? 12, because it's percentage we're talking about here. And the promotion is in percentage too. Alright, so the best thing is just don't stress yourself, just copy this line, cut, paste, and then similar thing. You can just copy and paste and paste and paste. You don't have time for necessary paparazzi. Okay, so that's what we have here, and if you look at it, running it low key, it has been solved. So message position value, don't scare yourself, just check for the please you're having issue. That's what this line, I want it to be 0, 0. That's why the error is there. So we see what we wanted. So below I have percentage, I have exact value. Tenor, I want that tenor to be having exact value. Yeah, exact value. I don't want to, okay, let's say nearly 4 years. Right. This make a lot of sense. So I've been able to solve the first section of the table. This is how I want the structure. I design this, I come up with the structure myself. This is how I want it to look like. So secondly, I now want to have different charts on different things because I'm actually like solving different objective. This particular thing, if you do your own, you know I did for only one like one line. So I expect you to do for at least 2 lines on that data, trying to like understand it with it because we're just trying to explore reality of data with different things. That's what we are doing. So here we then create a table. So we finish that particular section. Now we're in the table section, right? So we need 4 tables. Yeah, we need 4 tables. Table one, table two, table three, table four is equals to st.tabs, right? Then the names of the table. So what I want is I want things like firstly employee satisfaction. Employee satisfaction. I want employee satisfaction. Let me pause. So every different other things we can actually explore. We check for the employee satisfaction. Okay, so that columns I want to be considering apart from employee satisfaction. I want that tabs rather. Is it tabs or column? Okay, let me use the word tab. Yeah. That tabs I want to be considering apart from that particular one is identifying patterns. Okay, attrition patterns. Let me call it attrition patterns. Basically, I'm actually trying to like make my objective. You understand? I want to put them inside different columns. Sure, you understand what I'm saying. Then another one we could say um course relationship. What I mean by course relationship is because in the third objective we're talking about relationship between workload, salary and tenure. You understand? That means we're trying to explore the relationship between them, like their cross section of course. So the next one I'm looking forward to is examining the relationship, okay, identifying provide insight into departmental composition and workforce structure. So this one will definitely just be departmental composition, departmental, okay, let's say departmental structure. You understand? So here we'll be exploring relationship between our data, between our department to satisfaction and other variables. You understand? That's what we'll be doing in this particular section. So on finishing it, this is the first thing we are doing. we're now starting to like solve each and every one of them. The goal is to create a table that will handle the four of them. Now inside this table we have tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, tab 4. So each of the tabs solve different problem. What I will do is I will use with tab 1, right? What I want to do, I want to solve for the first objective. Abi, I copy the first objective, paste it inside. So with tab 2, I solve for the second objective, right? With tab 3, I solve for the third objective, right? Next with tab 4, I solve for the last one. So those are the things we have in our data, right? Now we then start solving each and every one of them. Inside tab 1, we do what we want to do. Inside tab 2, we do what we want to do. Inside tab 3, we do what we want to do. So inside tab 1, now let's go to what we have here in our structure. So before you do anything, you make sure you draw the structure out. Firstly, inside tab 1, I have 4 different columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your own might be more than 4, you understand? All you want to do is you want to like just explore what data is saying. You're not really telling or solving a particular problem. You're not like you are solving a problem, but you're not doing all this diagnostic analysis. You're not doing something complex or difficult. You're just trying to tell us what is happening, what is currently happening in data, not trying to confer solution from data. You understand? I think we are doing diagnostic analysis. We'll be very conscious with sensitive with date and time, duration, all these events. You understand? Different departments. In fact, I will have a sidebar, but this one I'm not doing something complex. I'm just doing what is happening. I'm not concerned with how it is happening. If I'm talking about how it is happening, then I'll be looking at how it's affecting different departments. So sorting way up in that particular way. So here I have four different columns where I want to put my charts. But in this particular section, if you are the one doing it, I want you to explore more than four, probably maybe six. Instead of having it four on the straight line, it could be 3 3 3. You understand? It could be 3 3 3, right? In your own case. But now I'm just like trying to like illustrate what you are to do. That's the goal. That's the goal of what I'm here to achieve. So to achieve my result, what I needed is I would create 4 columns. Yeah, I think I will create 4 columns because I have 4 columns in that particular section. So 4 columns. I want to create 4 columns inside the employee satisfaction. So to do that, I will say shift tab column. The reason why I write this shift tab is basically because when you're using a function, actually function, if you don't give it an if you don't indent the the solution or the maybe say resolution you want to achieve with that function, if you don't indent it, it is not family of that particular function. This is what I meant. If you write something like this is what I meant. It's not magical. Write def load data. Okay, let's say sum, right? Let's say sum. You now write a and b, right? We now say a plus b, store it inside c, abi? We now say return c. What you've done here is not family of this particular function, is outside it. So for you to be inside it, you have to give it a single indentation. You see it? See what happened immediately I did it? It turned it to a class of like to a member of it's more like it's under this particular function. We understand it. This line red we are seeing here is still correct. The reason why we are seeing the red is because of that class I created. Let me show you here. You see how it works. Yeah. So but if you don't indent it, it's not a family, it's not inside it, it's outside it. Similarly, same methodology works for this section. So after the tab 1, you need to be outside, then come inside, start writing. So I want to create 4 columns, right? So I want to say I want to give it I want to give the column a defined name. Let me say here I'm working on employee structure, abi? Employee satisfaction. I can say E column 1, E column 2. It's not as if it's having one definite syntax. We get it. E column 3. It's just like an identifier. That's what we're creating here. Then I'll say st dot columns. How many columns am I creating? 4. I've explained this one in class the same way we used to do tuple unpacking, where we have different variables, or let me say variables stored in a particular variable, you understand, and you now want to unpack it into different variables individually. That's what I did here. So from here I can easily say, okay, I want to be creating column for each and every one of them. So creating column for each and every one of them, I want to be plotting something inside those columns, right? So next I do is I do with column 1, right? That's the first one. With E column 2, that's the second one, right? With E column 3, that's the third one, right? With E column 4, that's the fourth one. Meaning this meaning I've been able to like create this particular structure. Like I've created this box already down. So box already down now, blank. But before we can actually do anything with the box, or let me say like run this line of code, and we won't encounter any error, we have to plot something. You can't just create a table without plotting anything with this particular program, with this particular, what do we call it, application. So we have to create something inside it. So for this one, we want to explore employee satisfaction, right? Employee satisfaction, we're looking at different things. So in this particular, in the first case, we want to look at number of projects to their satisfaction. That is, we want to see if the number of projects that they did affect their satisfaction level. We want to like see the impact, examine the impact of number of projects on their satisfaction level. So the best resolution is going inside. What I'm saying is, if you want to actually plot something inside table, you give it one index the same way we are doing with our function. Now inside column, I want to put something inside column. Now you know when I did the table that I want to start writing, I want to do different columns, I go inside. Now inside that particular column, I want to create something again. So I will go inside. So I will net it once. It's just like this syntax in this there's this course in mathematics called real analysis. Real analysis we say in between a real number there is a real number, and in between two real number there's another real number. You understand? That is, if I open in between two things, there's something inside. If I now open between that two things, there's still something inside it. If you still keep opening, you still be seeing different numbers or different things. You understand? That's what we are doing now. So I want to create something inside it now. So I would say um um df of project, right? I want to manipulate the project section. I want to create a different table entirely. Now I'm creating table out, not as if I'm just plotting directly. So I will say data of what? Data of group by, let me group by number of projects. Number of projects. So here I have to make sure the name is correct. That's the major issue I can have here. The name must be very correct. If it's not correct, stop. We'll be having another issue again. So we don't want that particular issue. So, good evening, sir. We don't want that issue to surface. So what we'll do is number of projects, copy, paste. Then the second one, what do we do? We paste satisfaction level. We know it's a form of number in this sense, right? Now, dot mean. I want to find the mean, because if I'm talking about satisfaction level, obviously they are in percentage form, decimal form. So the best thing to do is to find the average for each of them. That is, find the mean of each of them. Sure, you get that. Is we have people that do project one, mean of people that do project one project, mean of people that do two projects, mean of people that do three projects, mean of people that do four projects, like that. Then I would reset the index. Reset the index. Reset index. Right. So the resetted index, I want to give it a particular name. Let me say it is value. Right. We've done this one in class already. It's not something complex. There's an error here because of the space. So now after doing this, we've created a mini column, like more like a mini column. So if you put this on your Jupyter environment, you will see the results it will give you. But we don't need the results. We really need to plot the charts. So we come here, store our chart inside a variable before displaying it. That's how the way plot ly works is that you must first store your plots inside a particular variable, then you display it using plot chart. You understand? But let me do the first one, second one, third one, fifth one, then we understand it more better. So I have fig, I'm talking about project here, abi, is equals to px dot. Now I'm looking at variables. I'm looking at here in this particular section will be number of projects 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the satisfaction level, the mean of the satisfaction level will be what will be calculated at the front. So in that particular sense, logically we can't use a line plot, because if the number of projects will have been something in categorical form, it wouldn't make sense, right? Similarly, this particular structure as well, it doesn't make sense. So the best thing we'll do is we'll use a bar chart to show that, okay, this number of people that do this happen. You understand? So px bar, px bar, then we, if you look at the structure, hovering over it, bar chart in plot ly, we first take data frame. Secondly, you take the x variable, y variable, then the color pattern, and a lot of other things you can actually do with it. So when you are doing your project yourself, you should please explore those different things you can actually apply to make it more presentable. You understand? This one is just like an illustration and walkthrough to guide you on how to use it. You understand the way we've been doing so far. So here would say data is equals to data. Okay, it's not data here, it is this particular table we created. It's not data, right? Then so that's the first thing. Is enter I press. So that's the first thing. Second thing is number of projects, which is my x. So you can write x is equals to, if you don't write it, it will work, because by default the first thing it will ask for is data, second thing x, and third thing is y. So even if you don't write x is equal to this, it will assume that's what you are saying by default. So then for the y, you have you have value, then we have a title for it. Title for it is satisfaction level, average satisfaction level, average satisfaction level. So now on plotting this, what we have is st.plot chart, right? So the first input it takes is what is your figure of data, like is the variable this thing you plotted. Then the next thing is what is the default container you want to use. Sure you get, that's the two things it takes by default mandatorily. It could take other things like themes and some other stuff like that. So but the basic things you have to just put there is what is your chart you've actually stored inside this particular place. Copy it, then paste it. It's more like you store your chart in a variable, then you are displaying the whole variable. That's how it works. So I can say use container width, I want to be true. That's all. That is, it will fit into the structure of, the page layout is wide. So this one will just automatically fit into that wide structure by default. So by default, with the help of this syntax, if I had not put this syntax, it will not plot it. It will not follow the structure of that wide. It will just be narrow or anything it likes. So that's for the first one. Second thing I think I want to do is to plot the second column. Right, this is the first column is done. I move to the second column now. So in the second column, I want to work on salary to satisfaction rates. So to make it faster, I've done it already. Right, it's just same approach. Right, salary, set index, and we're done. So right, so for the third one, I've done that as well. That's overwork data. Still same thing we are writing, right? So the fourth data, to make it faster, at least from the understanding of what I explained so far, you can be able to like just continue from here. Okay, so you finish the first e column to the last e column. The last e column is showing an error. What could be the cause? Okay, well, you see, this is the cause. We have e column 1, e column 2, e column 3, e column 3. Should be column 4. Let's check it again. This is showing. It's not more showing again. So you can actually show this particular one first. Run the line of code. Which statement? Indentation in line 109. So the reason why it's showing this particular problem is because I've not added anything. I've not put anything inside. Let me say column is equals to st column 1. Let me just put this inside and see. Probably it will not give me the error again. Then this again. So I've been able to solve the problem. Let's run it and see. So we see that we have different table already. These are the tables we created: employee satisfaction, pattern, cost platform, departmental structure. And here is the data we have. Here's data we have. Okay, I think there's an error below. But from data we have now, I think we could make a lot of sense here. Number one sense we could make is that people doing only 2 projects, people that did only 2 projects, they are more their satisfaction level is higher than people that did 4 projects, 5, 6, 7, 8. You understand? So people that do less number of projects are much happier. That's what data is telling us. And another thing, workload. The satisfaction level of people by their workload is people that are having much workload, they are saying they are not satisfied. That's basically what we did with the pie chart. Then on average in their salary, people that are having higher salary are more satisfied. That is, it's more like now what I could sense now is more like a structure that which bosses above, like people that are boss, that how will I put it in this English? People that are maybe like that are collecting higher, people that are collecting higher salary do less work, and people that are collecting lower salary do more work. That is what we could actually like be making a sense out of this data for now. Then satisfaction level. Satisfaction level, people within the range of 2 to 3, they are more satisfied on average. So that is the people at the middle actually. People at the middle don't really complain because it's more like they see it as a balance that the number of projects they are doing is equivalent to the number of salary, or let me say the number of satisfaction they get. That's logically what is happening in that particular section. So that's how you like do for the 3 of them. The 4 of them. Then you go for attrition patterns, cost, relationship section, and you go for the departmental section. I'm trying to like beat the time, but the I think I'll just have to like just solve everything one after the other. So you've seen the way I plot for the first one. The second one now is attrition. I've worked on it already. Let me just save our time. Let me just save our time. Employee satisfaction, workload. So don't for this in the what do you call it? The gosh. I've worked on the attrition. I think the later I know this departmental course platform bullshit. So I'll just send everything. attrition, which is this, right? So let me just walk us through what I did here. What I did here is not something complex or difficult. First thing I did, what I created the columns I wanted. I wanted only three columns for this particular section. I did attrition against their salary, attrition against their tenure, attrition against what? Attrition against their tenure and against their department. So I'm trying to like check the churn rates against different matrices. So yeah, so from data we could actually make the census we want. So we have StreamLit column 155. Why are we having this problem? Okay, it's because I've not filled in something here. That's why we have this particular issue. So attrition, that's the relationship between examining the relationship between workload and another variable. So here the resolution is to examine workload. Have I done workload? Whereas objective 2, I think I've done it. So in this particular section now, the only issue I have, I think, is filter one I created. I need to like rank my data. Let's see where I created it. Okay, inside the attrition, I created a particular filter before creating the attrition table. Just trying to cut time. So what I did there was basically ah oh attrition by salary is sorted, attrition by space is sorted. Now this particular examine the relationship between attrition and different workload. Instead of stressing ourselves, I could just directly use my data itself. I've forgotten why I create this particular section. So save. On running it, we see that the error will not persist again. We have an error in line 159. 159. 159. Okay, don't worry. Let me just write the code. Let me just write the code. Let me just write the code. So get it explicitly. Oh god, I want to rush. What I don't have column 1, right? So inside the first column, I want to plot the relationship between workload and something. What do I even plot here? Let me just do it from the beginning then. Copy, then that section, paste. Okay, where is it? So here now I want to examine workload, salary, tenure, and other things together, you understand? But during your time, please, I don't expect you, if I'm talking about relationship, I don't expect you to be showing me bivariate analysis. No, I expect something like multivariate analysis, something like heat map, you understand, that will show the correlation between those different classes, something like use a scatter plot, but you use let me say the degree. You know what I mean by the degree? That's that size that will be showing different bubbles. You understand? Things that when you see it, you not only. I'm not looking at. beauty this time. I'm looking at making sense of what I have. That's the goal I'm actually looking at here now. So here we'll definitely be having something like okay, column one, right? I do for the second one with column two, right? So the first one I want to find the relationship between my data and something else. My workload is in numerical form. Abi, let's confirm. Is it in numerical form? Let's confirm that. Workload is in numerical form. No, workload is in numerical form. We are not sure. Let's confirm, please. Should be in numerical form. Okay, clean data. Okay, overworked. Okay, overworked is where I have it. Let me see. I think I have one overworked here that I ran not long. Wow. Yeah, overworked is actually a column. Is yes or no, yes or no. So we could work on that. Right. So we're looking at overwork is in form of is a categorical that is true or false. Then time spent in the company is categorical is numerical. Monthly average monthly hours work is um is numerical as well. So to work on that, I could do something funny, doing a line chart between average worked hour and time spent in the company using the overworked, which is if they overwork or not, as what as the color, right? So to solve for that, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? Can just plot it directly. Number one, this fig of what? Fig of work, which is equals to px dot line. Then data itself that we're using which data am I using? I'm using data, the whole data itself. Then my x will be what? My x will definitely be number of, let me just write the correct spelling. If not, I'll be having headache here. Tenure and salary. Okay, tenure and salary. Now let's explore the salary. What are we having salary? So because that salary is very, very important. Salary is high, low. That is high, low. That's what is in salary. Okay. Salary is high, low. So there's no specific value, right? Let's write it out to solve it without any headache. Let's write it out. Salary is what is categorical, cat. Then um workload is categorical, cat. Then what? Then tenor is numerical. So from here we have the first one. So we have bar charts. Let's use bar charts. X, Y, and color. My x axis will definitely be for the first one. Let's use salary. Second one is x axis. Let's use tenor, and the color. Let's use workload for color. Let's use workload for color. Then we have for title. employee salary tenure relationship. Something like this could be more better. Although you could find something that is more making sense, right? So from here, we display what we have. That's st just plot charts. That's fig of work. So we're trying to make sense from it. Would say we have using a particular container. Yeah. So I want it to maintain the structure of this environment itself. So from here, I could do the second one. What I want to do for the second one, I want to explore, let me say examine I want to examine different, I want to examine um okay, let me do pie charts. Pie charts. Let me look at workload. Then names rather. It uses names and let's say structure. Structure is names, value, color. So um values is what is count. Is count. Employee workload. So basically if you run it, let's see what will be the output. Would say we're looking at course relationship here. Okay, we have problem with the count family, and the reason we're having that count problem is because basically we not group it out, or let me say group by something, then count whatever bullshit. Where around this is using tenor here. Wait, do we ever have a column called tenor? We don't have a column called tenor. The column we have is time spent in the company. So time spent in the company, save, rerun. You forgot to add the comma. Right. Now, so let's go down. The first chart is fine. We don't have any issue here. Second one, attrition pattern. We don't have any issue here. We have issue somewhere. I'll check this one. Okay, let's check the course platform. This is where the problem is. What's the problem? Since you want to give us 0 of issue, just please explore how I create color from the example I did. We don't have to stress ourselves on something that's not freezing. It's more like an illustration of what we are doing, not what we want to use to consume the whole day. So I'm not using bar chart again, I'm using X and Y. Y. This is what? This is line charts. Which was for the different card. Mm. The USDC Euro for phones. So we continue. Excuse me. So I problem with this workload, whatever. So the syntax is not workload. Let's check the okay, overworked, right? Overworked is the spelling. Okay, so we are done with this particular section. I don't even plan spending this hour, but we don't have choice. Let me just comment this out for now. So I have this line giving me issue, right? So you can just run it. So basically, this is what we're actually like looking at to in descriptive analysis. Like, I don't need much. You understand? All I just need is I want us to be able to like tell what is happening in the data at first glance. So now the way we do for attrition, do for this, I will plot all these charts. You plot for everything. You plot for this, you plot for this, plot for this, plot for this. Then after employee satisfaction, if you look at everything we're having everything plotted against satisfaction. Salary satisfaction, even number of project satisfaction, um, workload against satisfaction, this one against satisfaction. That's what we're doing in this particular employee. So in this particular session now, we are plotting attrition against different variables, or let me say metrics. Here we are plotting satisfaction, attrition against number of year employees spent in the company. You understand? Here, here similarly we are plotting attrition against departments. So the department that have highest employee leaving is sales department. On examine data, we have many people living in sales department, followed by people in technical units, followed by people in support units. And another thing I want us to do is that I want us to make sure that this thing is yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. I want us to make sure that the data we're actually like showing it's God, sorry. I want us to make sure we sort our own. You understand? Like the way I did this one, I did not sort it. I did not sort it. This particular line chart could actually be done better. Probably maybe when you sort to the left or you sort to the right, it could look more better than what I have here. While for this one, similarly, employee status, same thing, and I've not done anything for the departmental structure. So the goal, what I want us to achieve is just this particular result. And if you look at it on normal mode, let me see normal mode. Let's just check for dark mode. Let's turn off dark mode. Turning off our light mode, let's see how the result looks like. It's still loading. Yeah, we'll see the way it is. It's more better, like we will see it, right? So this particular chart is not making sense. So I think this is not the best option. So probably we'll use a pie chart or a bar chart. She will understand. All I just want is firstly we define the structure we want. Next, after defining the structure we want, next we then start plugging them in. What will help us in solving the problem is what? Firstly defining the structure. It is the structure that helps us solve the problem, not because we can code. So meaning that it is not writing program that solves problem, it is understanding that solves problem. That's the goal of what we did for this particular descriptive section. I'm sorry, subsequent one will not take this much time. I promise. It will not take this much time. And I will send this on I'll send this first, then I'll do for diagnostic, I'll do for the predictive, I'll do for diagnostics, I'll do for predictive, and I will do for prescriptive, which will be the last section of everything. So save. So I'm done.